A very pleasant good evening to you as we welcome you to the Storm Report season number 3. This is episode number 18, and we are live inside the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. We welcome our global audience in this evening for a very special program. A lot of incredible guests here this evening. And, of course, as always, my co-host is Ed Cole. Ed Cole is here. And we will welcome in our first guest tonight will be Coach Herring. He'll join us here on our very first segment. We'll also speak with tennis coach for both the men and women. We'll speak with Phil Carlisle. He'll join us here this evening. And we'll also talk with some softball players. We'll talk with Jaden Miles, and we'll also speak with Joelle Dowdy. So we'll look forward to conversation with those ladies on the season that has started 10 games through for Mike Mabian's group. They're 6-4, so we'll look forward to conversation there. But Coach Herring, we welcome you back to the set, and once again, you do not disappoint in the category of fashion. Once again, a top-notch outfit. Welcome, Coach Herring. How are you?
I'm great. I've been called a fashion disaster by a lot of people, but
always in the eye of the beholder, though.
It's true. This is a Brazilian jacket given to me by an Olympian from Brazil. Still have it, and I'm going to wear it till the day I die, I think. So hopefully it doesn't smell too bad. I washed it for you guys.
It's a good look, and I'm glad really that there's material around it. The way that you kind of described it, or we got a visual of it initially, was not this. And so this is fantastic. I applaud this.
It reminds me
of passion. How about the attire?
I love the look.
You do?
Yep.
Good. All right, my boss won't be mad then, I hope.
Coach, it's we're getting to the midway point for swimming.
Oh, we're on the end. We're in the end route. This is the last conference meet to qualify, last qualification for nationals. So this is really you bring the whole team over to swim against some of the best Division II schools and NAIA and even a couple Division I. So we're ready. We're ready. Leaving tomorrow.
The biggest question that we have since we last spoke was the arrival of the sensation that we're calling Ikuto Yoshida.
Yeah.
And this young man brings with him podium presence. If you would elaborate on Mr. Yoshida, because we're excited as we talk about it.
Yeah, Ikuto's an amazing talent from Japan. He's been training very hard. We got him here mid-semester and our second semester. So it's amazing because he's very fast. I knew the Brazilian Olympic coaches, and I know his club coach from Phoenix Swim Club. So we adopted a real good talent. Very humble, and he's going to show a lot of swimmers how to do breaststroke. He'll help every relay out. He's got freestyle speed as well. But he's teaching me some good Japanese. Gambare means work hard or go fast or good luck. And totemo sugoi is very good. And psycho, which is an English word, means the best. So I yell at him, Gambare psycho.
Gambare
psycho.
Gambare psycho is what we're going to yell at this guy every single time, every lap.
So what was the communication level like, Coach? Did he reach out to you, or did you find him? How did everything come together where he's now on this team?
You know, about 2 years ago, actually, he inquired here about the school because he's at Phoenix College doing English classes. And then I knew his club coach, and so that was the connection. It's good to know club coaches internationally, but he came to visit. He really liked the environment. He actually trained with Bria Larson, who was one of my swimmers, Olympic gold medalist breaststroke. So they raced together.
Okay.
And then, knowing his club coach, Taco, and Darian Townsend, who is now at Phoenix Swim Club, I think just helped it out. But he's a great fit. He's what we wanted to see come here to boost our program in the men's category, and he's eligible, so we're going to go with it.
Eligibility is key, right there, Coach. That is fantastic. It's a sweet sound, that word, right?
And then Kevin, don't we always say the best of ability is availability?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Coach, I thought Ed was going to ask the question, but it was similar. The communication aspect, what has that been like, the interaction, communicating with Ikuto, with yourself and your staff, and then, of course, the rest of the team? How's that been working out?
Yeah, I mean, when I first met him 2 years ago, his coach talked more than he did. So I knew, when you're learning a new language, you don't speak it unless you have some confidence. He came in last semester. We were talking weekly, and no problem. I mean, he's understanding really everything. So the team loves him. He's humble. A lot of Japanese are very quieter, which is really a bonus to our team. We got a lot of loudmouths. They're high energy. So he balances a lot of them out. And, humility is a good thing for every athlete. You think you're on the top, and then somebody comes in and, whoa, where'd that guy come from? So I think it's going to be great for our team in a lot of measures. But communication has not been a problem. In fact, today we did some extra sets, and I was the one that miscommunicated. I think he's got better English than me right now, which is not surprising.
I'm good with Gambade and Psycho right now.
Gambade,
those two.
Gambade, Psycho.
Gambade, Psycho.
Yeah. Kamisami is God, so introduced him to the gospel a couple years ago, and learned how to. I've forgotten a lot of it, but Kamisama is God.
Yeah, write that down, Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm
we're learning together. But it's cool because people from a lot of different countries. We got a guy that's going to come on from Ecuador. His parents are pastors in town, fluent in Spanish, obviously, and it's just cool when people can out honor each other and respect each other no matter where they're from. That's what the good book says to me. We're supposed to every nation, every tribe, be one as they are one. Amen. So that's our goal, that's right. And we're going to rejoice all the way through this meet. And I think some people will wonder where he came from.
Coach, ideally, of course, you want your swimmers, the men and the women, to swim and compete really well as you head to PCSC. And, of course, they did last week, and the men got second. The ladies got first over there in Goodyear. Are you excited about the focus and the way that the young men and young women are swimming as you're getting ready to head out to East L.A. tomorrow?
Yeah. So Friday and Saturday workouts, they never look that good. All the times are where they should be. The final, flip turns to the wall the right way, breathing patterns, strategy for all the events. Our miler, Edgar's, on fire. CJ's not too far behind him. They got a great lineup of events. Our breaststroker girl tonight, Audrey, was doing splits that are amazing. I'm really excited. I think we're going to see a lot of team records, and hopefully it would be really nice to send national relays. So this year they have to qualify in individual events to be on a relay. So you need 4 girls, 4 guys, obviously. I'm really hoping we can get that. But either way, they look sharp. And we were talking to them tonight again, reminding them times matter. They certainly do. But character always trumps time. So keep positive and keep the team rolling no matter if you have one event or so that's just not quite on.
Kevin, let me get one more. So for them to raise their level the way they have, Coach, getting ready to head out to East LA tomorrow, to what do you attribute that to? Is it coaching? Is it their level of focus that they've raised their level, knowing that the importance of what's going to go on the rest of this week, we've got to really lock ourselves in mentally?
Yeah, there's so many variables, honestly. I've been tracking this. I gave him a speech a couple weeks ago. It's not only your mental, what I call your mental set. I gave him the example tonight of a guy in 1983, the same pool we're at from Cal Berkeley. He was outside goofing off in a Holiday Inn and got hit by a milk truck. Guy from Cal Berkeley, very fast swimmer. Obviously knocked him out of the race, literally. But Cal Berkeley showed up to nationals, NCAA Division I that day. And they came in, the last team. Everybody's looking for Cal Berkeley. They're always here, They're top dog now, unless Arizona State, my alma mater, knocks them off. But they led in with this swimmer with a T-shirt that said, more powerful than a moving milk truck. And he actually swam at NCAAs against his doctor's order, did terrible. But that kind of passion, that kind of team connectiveness, that kind of, I'm doing this for the team even though I had inside injuries. That's what I told him about. I said, but there's so many variables. Sleep. I don't know how much they sleep. Meals. Some people get really nervous before meals. They got to have energy. They got to have glycogen. So we were telling them the things that we can control, that they can control. And then the biggest thing is when you're in a pool with that many teams, with Fresno Pacific, with Biola, with all these teams, Loyola Marymount, University of California, Santa Cruz. You can get instant fear. And I said, if you don't block out that fear and focus, it's gonna inhibit your performance. But as far as I see, every swimmer is ready to go here. As we get there, as we warm up, as they see the crowd, as they eat, sleep, recover. Recover is a huge thing over 4 days. There's so many variables. I'm sure a coach has written about it, but actually nailing it on everyone, that's why we pray to the good Lord to help everyone listen to their bodies and dial in on the thing that they know they're good at, but also the thing that might knock them out, like a little voice that says you're not good enough, or Aikido killed you in this event, so you're no good. That's Bolshevitz. Mm-hmm. That's a little Hebrew for that's not true.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, thanks.
In English, it's nonsense
Yeah.
in English. So, Coach, I'm curious about the arrival and not sudden emergence of Edgar Betancourt, but two-time record holder in the 500 free, the 200 fly. Didn't swim a lot before he arrived at ACU. Had some time off at I believe it through his career and trek towards Pima Community College. But when he arrived here, he has been an inroads type swimmer for your program.
Yeah, he's was on a team down in Tucson that trains really well. They swim a lot of long course, and again, it's passion. He just, when you see him swim, he's like, I'm not going to let you guys decide who's going to get second. He's just that way. Gets on the blocks, looks around this way. You guys look who's going to get second because I'm going for first. And even if he doesn't get first,
love it.
So it's the bigness of your heart. I had a swimmer in Mexico named Juan Flores who he knows. When he went to Mexican Nationals, he met him. And Juan Flores, that guy, I've never seen anybody train that hard and passion, even when they're spent. And this Edgar's got that same kind of intensity that is going to be challenged. Hard to be challenged.
We are visiting with swimming coach here at ACU, Mr. Brad Herring. Coach, we always appreciate your candor. Ed, what else do you have for Coach Herring? Because I was going to sneak in, not really a funny type question, but we were asking before the program began, just what kind of gamesmanship that other programs could apply or show, or how you kind of compete in our conference then as you prepare for Los Angeles. But can you expect anything unusual, or temperatures of the pool being unique, or just all kinds of chairs or benches all over, or is there a flow to it, or what kind of gamesmanship can you play in swimming?
Yeah, East LA, we know that pool because, like I say, when Pac-10 was the Pac-10, and now I don't know what they are now, Pac-3, or if they exist, but when we swam there with ASU, great memories of that indoor pool echoes like no other pool.
Okay.
So no matter if your swimmers swimming or not, it's the events, especially finals, there's an echo by every single team that you hear while you're swimming. Bonus. The pool's regulated on the temperature. It's supposed to be 79 to 80. That's a standard. I think last year their warm down pool was a little cold. They've had a lot of rain over there. There's an outdoor area, which is nice because you can breathe. Chlorine kind of can come up on indoor pools and be a factor. But the bottom line is everybody has the same condition.
Okay. Yep.
So when you even it out, it's like, I don't like lane 7. Neither does the guy from, forget about it. Don't have any voodoo. You are there. Don't be distracted. This is a pool that records have been in. Many Olympian has swam in that pool. That's so much better than our home pool. It's ready there waiting. Set your mind on that, and it's going to be good because you're racing against Par Arvidsson, who was an Olympic gold medalist back in the day. I swam against in that same pool. That's when they allowed false starts. And he false started on purpose, came around the block, and he had a beard, and I was shaved, and he was not shaved. He's Olympic gold medalist. And you know what he did behind the block? He growled at me, tried to throw me off.
Didn't work.
I'm like, oh, man. I was like, okay, I got to show this guy anything I can. I beat him at Pac-10s. And then, of course, he won at NCAAs. But really, you have to focus on every aspect and not get tense on the event. You got to do what God created you to do, to relax and swim and train over these months, these long months, these grueling morning workouts, and just focus like the engine's ready. I have insurance so I can finish this strong. I'm not getting anything in my way. That's how the tennis coach does it anyway. I've learned a lot from him.
No gamesmanship other than at Cal Berkeley when they gave you a pool
at
73 degrees.
You know, Cal Berkeley, those they call them the bears. They're the snakes, man. And they turned the temperature down cold. Knew we were coming in from Hawaii. And everyone, including our top guy, and, you know, we were first and second in NCAAs, but that meet, it was wrote up in the paper. ASU swam like, you know what. And the Stanford coach, who we swam Stanford the next day, said in the paper, man, I was really expecting a good competition. Look how bad ASU did. Guess what the coach read right before the Stanford meet? What? That quote from the Cal Berkeley and the Stanford coach.
Timing.
We whooped Stanford the next day on the last swim. So that can reverse on you when you're mentally and you're on fire and you just block out all these things that can distract from what you were made to do. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Do I say it? All the things that Coach Shanahan did not do on Sunday. That wasn't fair. That wasn't necessary. I don't know why. Just giving it to him a little bit. Coach Herring, always good stuff, right? Always good. We're pumped up. Ed, you want to get in the pool? I'm ready to get in the pool.
Are you ready to get in the pool?
Let's go.
Come on, man.
I don't know about the breaststroke, but I'll go freestyle.
Let's go fly first.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's
okay.
Yeah, let's try fly first, okay?
Man.
That's breaststroke.
Yeah.
Brad Herring, always the
breaststroke.
Love the candor from Coach Herring. And speaking of great candor, let's talk some tennis with Phil Carlisle. Straight ahead on the program. Don't go away. To the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. I'm Kevin Derryberry alongside Ed Cole. And joining us on the set is men's and women's tennis coach Phil Carlisle joins us. Phil, I think you're right there with 6, 7 visits now? You're right there. You're
something
right
like that, yeah.
Always
yeah,
pleasure
6,
having
7.
you here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Here we are, smack dab in the middle of tennis season. How are things going for you?
Pretty good. We're kind of getting off to
getting going.
Yeah, so getting going. Girls had a couple matches last week, and then the guys we took over to California this weekend. So it's been good, and it's certainly been very, very busy. Came literally straight from practice about 10 minutes ago. So off to a good start. Long way to go though.
A season that finished 8-8. How do you and a season that finished 5-2 in conference play too, which is a huge plus for you there. How do you kind of build on that momentum through 2 matches here thus far?
Yeah, good. We had a pretty good year last year. I think 2 years ago was we made it to the conference championship last year. Came up a little short of that. So we're looking to build on last year, but we're hoping for kind of bigger and better things. So we bring back our top 2 guys in Jonas and Hugo, and a bunch of newcomers that I think have made a really positive impact already. So we know that our expectations are pretty high. We have some pretty lofty goals, but the guys are excited about the challenge. So getting the first matches here under the belt and a couple this week as well against teams, non-conference teams, not even NAIA teams, just to really kind of help us get ready for those tough NAIA matches down the road.
You got to get your footing somewhere, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, Coach, your ladies are up to a 2-0 start. What do you like about them so far in 2 quick early matches?
Yeah, so far, in the first match, College of Idaho, we played probably the best doubles that we've played since I've been here. So that was awesome. Came out a little bit slower against Ottawa, but managed to win 5 of the singles matches to get it back. So kind of the same thing. So we have three new girls into our top 6 this year, so we're still trying to kind of figure out all the pieces and again getting those first match reps under our belt. Trying to work out the nerves, some of the tension, the stress, all that kind of stuff, and hopefully get more comfortable as we go. But so far, it's been good. The challenges are going to step up this week. These teams are all pretty good, progressively getting better. Thursday will be good. Friday will be tougher, and Saturday will probably be the toughest match we play all year. So we know it's going to be kind of a tough week, so I'm excited to see how they handle that challenge.
And with so many new faces on both sides, men's and women's side, how much are you leaning on your veterans to bring those young pups up on the men and the women? Yeah,
very much so. So our on the guys' side, we have Hugo and Jonas are back into our top 2. So they've been through this. Jonas is a senior, so he's seen all these teams several times, and just kind of starting to help the younger guys understand the atmosphere of college tennis, which is very different than, say, Wimbledon or something like that. So there's a lot of energy. It's very loud. There's a lot of tension in it. There's some bad calls. There's all kinds of stuff that happens, and same on the women's side too. And so that's been a big thing for us, getting the older players, the veterans, even if they're a transfer or something, maybe they're a little bit older, but they're new here. They're kind of going through all this for the first time. How we coach them during matches, they're still trying to learn that a little bit too. So it's been a kind of a learning curve, learning experience, but the veterans have done a great job of kind of helping the younger ones or the new ones get prepared and kind of handle the emotions and the tension and the stress of the matches.
Coach Carlisle joins us here on the Storm Report. You were talking about the atmosphere at this upcoming tournament, and it kind of going to be loud and raucous, if you will, almost like the Waste Management golf tournament, which is an outlier on what the rest of the tour looks like. But if you would kind of describe some of that atmosphere that you're speaking of, and then when it comes to officiating, I'm thinking an umpire in a chair and old-fashioned, or do you still are you able to take advantage of some of the new technology of Cyclops machine or something like that to help kind of score the game and officiate it?
Yeah, great question. None of it. So we have,
not quite there.
Yeah. So no technology. We have typically for a match, if our men and women are playing at the same time, we'll have one official for each. So it's not like there's a chair on every court. It's one person kind of roving. Being honest, they are there to kind of police the situation, make sure nothing kind of gets out of hand. But realistically, they're not able to watch everything. So it's still kind of an honor system. We call our own lines.
Almost, right?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. It's not always very gentlemanly.
Very competitive.
Yeah, there we go.
Spirited, I would say, yeah.
But for this, for the matches, especially, on the men's side, we have 14 guys. We have 12 women. So we have, 6 and 6 are playing. And then you have a large contingent of people that are outside the court not playing. They're going around cheering and supporting. And so there is no I guess there's a volume rule at different times, but if somebody's cheering on court 1 and everybody's cheering for them and they're in the middle of a point on court 2, it doesn't really matter. So it can be a distraction and all that kind of stuff. And that's part of what we're learning too, but we like it loud. We like it energetic.
So there are no unwritten rules per se as far as how to conduct your behavior, so to speak, as a fan or even as a teammate cheering.
Yeah, I mean, there's unwritten rules is probably a good way to put it. We dealt with that. Our guys dealt with that with Westmont this weekend with people cheering and yelling out during the point, and all that kind of stuff. And it happens, but you just kind of have to roll with it. There's really nothing. There's not a lot any umpire or coach is going to be able to do about it.
Just like the Phoenix Open, right, Kev?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Waste management, college tennis, same thing.
So, Coach, is there any crossover effect between the men and the women? I know they kind of go at the same times, but is there any crossover communication between the men and the women as far as strategizing in a tough situation like you said, over in Santa Barbara, or you're getting ready for Western New Mexico, Colorado Mesa, University of St. Catherine, these kind of situations? Is there communication between both sides, or how does that work out? Or is everybody pretty separate?
There's definitely communication, but not really so much, in terms of strategic or anything like that. But we run it as two separate teams, but one program. And so, when the men and women are both playing this week, it's if the men's match finishes first and the women are still playing, the guys will go over and they'll cheer and they'll support and they'll stay there and all that kind of stuff. And even during the match, you might hear them kind of cheer for each other. But they're really focusing on what they're specifically doing. So the two games are men's tennis, women's. They're just very different, and so there's not a whole lot of strategic. Maybe some can be there, but for the most part, it's not too strategic. But the support and the encouragement is definitely crossing over as much as we can have it do.
And for you, how do you pop between matches? How do you kind of survey and work everything out on your end?
That's a great question. So I'm very fortunate. I have two wonderful assistant coaches that typically will go into a match and sort of devise a strategy of, I'll take a couple courts and Emily will take a couple courts and Meg will take a couple courts. And so we kind of figure out who's going to be where. We have certain players that we know we can, maybe the veterans that we can trust to kind of handle their business. We don't need to pay as much attention to them, but we're going to go where we feel we can kind of make the most difference, where we feel most needed in a tight set or a tight match. We feel like we can try to help either keep somebody calm or give them some kind of advice that can actually help. So we're in constant communication. The three of us are just, hey, what do you see on this court? What have you seen here? And we'll just kind of go where we feel like we can actually help.
Coach Carlisle, if you would describe some of the ability of Hugo, April, and you mentioned Jonas Wand as well. Just from a fan's perspective, if we don't see a lot of tennis, right? Yeah. Maybe it's available to us on the GSAC Sports Network. I'm not sure, but if you would describe what kind of action that we would see if we were to go to attend an event, and then maybe describe what kind of players these guys are.
Yeah. So we don't have GSAC network, but we do use Instagram. That's our go-to. We Instagram live some of our home matches with the internationals. It's been nice to be able to have their families watch. But specifically with those two guys, you're not going to probably find any two that are more different. So Jonas is, he hits everything hard, and he's kind of a bigger guy, 6'3", so he's kind of this bigger guy. He goes 5'7". He's like a little bumblebee, he's just running everywhere. Somewhat of a showman. He likes the flair. He likes to go for the crazy shot. Anything I coach, he does it different, but that's fine. Like, he kind of has his own style, his own flair, his own things that I would never specifically advise, but he can do it. And so it's entertaining to watch. It's very, very different. It's very a lot of slicing, a lot of craftiness, just very, very different than what you'd see from traditional tennis, which is Jonas is kind of hitting everything flat and hard and big serve and all that kind of stuff. So very, very different, but both very energetic, very passionate, very loud when they play. And
behind the back, between the legs kind of stuff?
Hugo, for sure. Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's every day at practice, something of that nature for sure. Yeah.
Coach, on the ladies' side, I know it's only a small sample size, 2 matches, but who are some young ladies that you're liking that are kind of stepping up and kind of early solidifying themselves on your roster?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have a lot of people that can, we have a top 6, but we have a lot of people that can play. And so, obviously Deandra Bacchus, she's come back. She's a fourth-year senior. She's played number 1 for us all 4 years. And so, obviously, she had a great year last year, all GSAC. And so, coming back, hopefully, even better this year. Some of the new faces, we've got Maddie Monroy, who's a transfer from Eastern Illinois, a local girl from the area, but she's been great for us so far, in her match play. And there's so many different ones, different roles that are being filled. So we're still trying to figure out 100% what our doubles lineup looks like. And even some of the girls on the outside, Kendra Farrell, she's been very good in the support and kind of pushing the girls and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's still, I think, trying to figure out what their roles are, which is great. But those that kind of know their roles, they're really playing into them very well.
Coach, Western New Mexico University up next on the slate. Do you have some roles solidified and some ideas of how you plan to attack your next opponent?
Yeah, in the past few years, they always have on both sides. Really, they're we call them grinders. They're just kind of staying at the baseline, making 1,000 balls, and you're going to have to kind of work through that and play some long rallies, long points, all that kind of stuff. So we know they're both teams, men and women, are very, very good. The women haven't been able to pull it off the last couple of years, and the men have had really tight battles with them the last couple of years that we've been able to pull out. So we would expect those matches to be very, very tough. I think this year on the women's side, we'll have a very good chance to potentially win that match. But it's going to be a good test for us. Fortunately, we're at home. So that's we've been very successful there, and we know that Western New Mexico is coming from quite a distance away and very different conditions. Hopefully we're kind of hoping the temperature ramps up and gets a little bit hotter for us, so which would give us a bit of an advantage. So, but we know it'll be intense. We know Colorado Mesa is going to be intense. A lot of emotion to that one as well. So none of these matches will be easy.
And my last one then, if you have nothing else for Coach Carlisle, I just wanted to ask Coach, what did I want to ask Coach? Pickleball, the rave, like it's crazy. Are you yay or nay on pickleball? And then how often a week if you have time? If you have time,
it's been a minute since I've played. I do actually enjoy it. I don't. If I play too much pickleball, my tennis game goes into the garbage. So I try. Yes. Yeah, correct. So I don't cross over too much when we're in season, but I do enjoy it. They're actually in theory going to be converting a couple of the tennis courts over at Paseo into pickleball courts, and so at some point we're expecting our tennis teams to be invited to a bit of a pickleball night in the grand opening when those courts are ready to go. But fun game, very very popular, obviously, but. I'm partial to tennis still, so
I can understand that. What was soon to be a need is now turned into a want. Now it's an absolute must in demand in pickleball. So we love it. That's the best right there from Phil Carlisle. Men's and women's tennis in great hands, and their next match is at Paseo Racket Center on the 15th day, one day after Valentine's Day. So we'll continue our conversation here on the Storm Report. We'll turn it to softball. We'll take it to the pitcher circle. We'll take it to the diamond, if you will, as we speak with Joel Dowdy and Jaden Miles right here on the Storm Report. Don't go away. The Tower Grill on the campus of ACU. I'm Kevin Derryberry. He's Ed Cole. And joining us here are some young ladies that play softball for Coach Mike Migben. Jaden Miles to my left, and then Joel Dowdy to Jaden's left. Ladies, welcome to the broadcast. How are you tonight?
Doing great.
Good.
Doing
Fantastic.
great.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. It's our pleasure. We want to thank Tim Gosen, who's the guy that puts everything together. So we thank Mr. Gosen for that. But how about first, let's start out. You guys are kind of from the same neck of the woods almost, Northern California. Joelle, you're from Houston, California. And then our friend here, Jaden, is from Sacramento, as I like to say, Sacktown.
Yes.
Yep.
How'd you ladies get here to ACU? Just 6 hours away, not too far.
Yeah, not too bad. Just recruiting, found this school, really loved it, took a tour, practiced. I really fell in love with it. So
Okay.
My story's long, but to shorten it, basically, I wanted to play softball, but didn't know if that was in the plans anymore because of COVID, and it was really difficult to get recruited during that time. I looked at a bunch of different schools, and pretty much everything was no, and I just was praying, and I was like, all right, Lord, I need a school. So whatever pops up on the internet right now of a Christian school, I'm going to look into it, and it was Arizona Christian, and I did my application, and I was like, I'm going to go here. And then recruiting emailed Jimmy, which was the coach at the time, and basically got a call the next day. It was like, we love your video, come out here. And I signed in the dugout of opening day, and yeah, the rest is history.
That's a good story.
Yeah, I love it.
Wasn't that long. Were you banged up when you were here the last time on the show? Maybe were you kind of recovering from an injury? Or
Freshman year I was
post-surgery?
not hurt, but yeah, sophomore year, so last year I tore my knee.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was hurt, but we're back.
back and better.
So I'm going to sneak in a quick question as they kind of refine some of the audio here. For you, Joelle, you share the same number, your jersey number, as your brother Clayton does.
Yeah.
Of course, Clayton plays little football, plays wide receiver. He looks like a fullback. You can't miss Clayton Dowdy, I assure you that. But how do you guys both arrive at 44? Because as Ed says, that is a powerful number.
Yeah. Well, it was my last choice, my freshman year, for a number. I couldn't think of another number to put on the paper, and it was like number 4 on the list. My favorite number is 10.
Okay.
Didn't get it. Senior that year had it. And then I was like, well, whatever. I'll probably get my second or third choice, and didn't. And Coach gave me 44, and I was like, all right. And that's my dad's favorite number, and that's why I put it on the list. And ever since, I just kind of stuck with it. I told him that I was going to switch my sophomore year to 10 because it was open, and he got so hurt. So I was like, all right, I'll keep it, I guess. But yeah,
there's a lot of pride in those jersey numbers.
Yes, it is.
And then my brother, he just did it because of my dad's favorite number too. So it's just a family number, I guess.
That's outstanding.
That is cool. So Jaden, you started every single game. Freshman, you started all 46 games. Sophomore, started all 51 games. Talk about your ability to stay healthy over the course of a season and play every single game. How were you able to do that the last couple of years?
And that's 97 games, not to cut you off. 97.
Good math. Wow.
By the grace of God. I did have some arm troubles a little bit last season during the fall. Not sure if it was just throwing mechanics or I'm not really sure what I was doing wrong, but I did some PT with Travis. I've been just icing it. A lot of prayer that I stay healthy, and she's good for right now. I mean, she's going. She's still going.
And as important as the physical nature of you, it's also the mental part of you for you to be able to continue to fight through injuries and say, okay, I know I'm hurting here, but I'm going to continue to fight my way through. I'm going to battle through these injuries and not feeling well and still go out and play for my sisters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. A lot of girls on the team know what it's like. Joe knows what it's like to be injured, and it's definitely tough. It takes a toll on you mentally. Just being able to recognize my body and how I feel. There's a difference between being sore and hurt, and that's kind of something that I work through even today. Prayer, really. That's all I could say.
Kevin, 2-time GSAC Golden Glove left fielder right there.
Yeah, no question
Two-timer.
about that. Two-time all GSAC as well, and it doesn't stop there. She's also a GSAC scholar athlete. That's right. We are speaking with this young lady right here, and that is Jada Miles.
She's important.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when I
That's
read
right.
the blurb from Tim, no comparison at all, but I just wanted to say that because you're versatile and you're going to play outfield and you're a 2-time Gold Glover and left field, and now you're going to move to second base, there's a player in the big leagues, and maybe Tim thought I would bring this up. Maybe not at all, but Mookie Betts is a 6-time Gold Glover for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he's going to play second base this year. So it's going to be, he's athletic. I'm sure you're very athletic as well. So it's an adjustment, but how big of an adjustment has it been for you? It seemed like it's been seamless for you thus far.
Well, Well, I honestly came here. I got recruited my entire travel ball career. I've always played infield, second base. I did not play much outfield, and when I did, it was right field, maybe once every 5 months, not that often. But so when I came back here, Coach told me that I would be playing the outfield. Totally fine with that. So I just worked in the outfield. It's definitely a different arm slot. So just kind of going from sidearm to long throws. Did that. And then Coach told me that I just need to be starting to work second base again. So I just dragged my brother out to the field back at home and have him hit me ground balls and just go with the flow, really.
Do you do this at Rosemont High School, or do you have your own field and facilities you work with?
I just go to this middle school that's right by my house.
Okay.
It's not the best, but I try to make it work.
Hey, sometimes when you're in adverse conditions, it makes a nice field really easy to play in, right?
It does.
And you guys have a nice facility here at ACU. Ed?
Joelle, how excited are you for this season? Of course, you only played 3 games last season. How excited are you to hopefully play a full season?
Yeah, I am so excited. I've been working so hard since I got injured, even when I couldn't walk. Before I even had surgery, I would still be working out in the weight room, doing arms, anything I could, because I know that the time when I get injured, when I get back, that it was going to be fast, and I just needed to be ready. And so I've been working really hard all summer. I've been just ecstatic and so full of joy, knowing that it could end at any moment. I could go out there tomorrow at practice and get injured again and couldn't play another year. And so I'm just taking every moment, every game, every practice just for just joyful and excited to be out there and just going out there and working as hard as I possibly can, because it might be my last game, last practice. So yeah.
How much does technology play into softball with video and inventive iPads and all that stuff, and the ability to watch yourself back and the way you prepare for a softball game? Does technology really play into what you do as far as preparation for games and preparation for a season?
Yeah. I think that it does at a certain level. So coach will be videoing us at practice. We'll look through our swing. We'll look at what we're doing wrong, or what to fix, what to help us in the upcoming games. Coach looks at the pitchers that we'll be facing, and through video, obviously, through their film, and what to work for the upcoming games. If she's a drop ball pitcher, rise ball pitcher, and that's kind of the tendency of what we'll work on during practice that week as well. This weekend after we played, I went back on film and looked at my at-bats and kind of went through mentally, okay, what was I looking for? Was I successful? What was I doing wrong? That kind of stuff, which is really helpful. So I think it's been playing a bigger role because other teams can see our film as well as we can see theirs. But yeah, I don't know.
I can share this with you, Ed. Whatever technology Jada Miles is using, it's pretty good technology, because she's leading the team in hitting with 455 currently. And the what have you done for me lately scenario, 455. I want to say 387 last year if memory serves. But you were seeing the ball pretty well here. Not only have you made the adjustment defensively, but you're also leading the club in hitting. What's it like at the plate for you right now? The ball must be like a beach ball for you.
That's funny. No, I've just been really focusing on my mechanics this season. Just especially with my slapping, I'm taking slapping more seriously, trying to develop more of hitting too, doing a little bit of both.
Give us a visual. Are you a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter when you talk about slapping?
Slapping, okay. Left-handed,
So you're a switch hitter then?
No.
Oh, okay.
I hit left-handed too.
Is it assumed that all softball players that are slap hitters are all left-handed hitters? Is that assumed, or could you be a slap hitter and a right-handed hitter as well? I see it most successfully done as a left-handed hitter.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you can be both.
Okay.
I mean, some people go back and forth, but usually it's typically they still hit left-handed too.
Good.
But I've just been really focusing on mechanics, especially with my slapping, keeping my hands up and staying closed. I've been having trouble the past 2 seasons staying in the box, so just making sure my feet work is on point has been something that I've been really focusing on and devoting my time to.
Fascinating.
Yes. Jaden, you're going to have a young lady to your right. She's a shortstop, Claire Buckley. I think you know her name.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think everyone knows her name.
How much are you learning from her, and how excited are you to team up with her on double plays and things of that nature on the defensive side on that infield?
It's so exciting. It's so different because last season I'm in the outfield and I have like a different perspective of her now. So I see her as an infield leader. I always come to her when I have any questions. She carries a team with energy and just is so devoted to the game and her mental processes, and anytime that I may look down, she comes at me and she's like, "Are you okay? Like, anything I can do for you?" She's very communicative, and I'm very excited to be able to play next to her.
Ladies, what's the vibe of the team right now? You won your first 6 straight games. You went 6-0, and you beat number 13 College of Idaho. In fact, you swept them at the beginning of the season. And then you ran into a little bit of a challenge here. The first time this year you felt adversity with 4 straight defeats before we play this week. What's the vibe of the team right now, Jaden, when you look at what you need to do to turn things around?
Yeah, so I think this week we have keywords that we focus on every week, and this week our keyword is loyalty. Okay. So what we can do personally to the team, how we can be loyal to the team, and what we need to do for the entire team to be successful, and that's how our practices are going to kind of be based off of. So I'm just really excited for this next weekend and how we can bounce back from obviously a disappointing weekend, and how we can come together more as a team and just focus defensively. That's going to translate to our energy-wise and everything like that.
Joelle, how are you seeing things?
Yeah, I think we started off really excited, really stoked, had a lot of energy, came out, played strong, and then this weekend, these last couple games, we saw really good pitching, really good teams, and I think we just maybe got a little timid, and just maybe struggling a little bit mentally, and it could be a little challenging when you're not seeing the success that you want. And so, like Jay was saying, this week we're just going to focus on each other rather than ourselves and our own success or our own failures, and look to our other teammates to help them and push them and grow them. So we're just going to really try and bounce back in a way of just pouring into our teammates and helping our teammates rather than looking inward and focusing our own failures and negativity.
And Joelle, going up against Oregon Institute of Technology, I see that number 1 in front of their name. Facing them, you lost 9-2, lost 6-2. You're getting ready for Southern Oregon. That's a number 2 ranked team. Yeah. So going up against the number 1 team ranked wise, how is that going to prepare you to face the number 2 ranked team, knowing the pressure of facing a top ranked team, and now you're going to face the team that's directly underneath them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel much pressure, honestly. I don't think our team does either. We know we can compete. We're good enough to handle that kind of competition. We haven't seen that type of pitching in a while, so it was nice to really see that and to get ready for the GSAC because it is a tough competition. So we just know these games we're going to battle, and we're going to go out there with confidence, and we're going to play as best as we can, and we know we can compete, and ultimately these games are going to prepare us for the GSAC, and we know that we're going to be able to be successful when we're put in these tough positions and have to battle out of it.
Well stated, right?
Yes.
I mean, both questions and both answers were just right there, Joelle. Very, very impressive answers. When you think about, pointing and reflecting towards your group around you versus inward, that's selfless right there, right? And Coach Mabe and his staff, they're certainly sending the right message. Ed, what else do we have here?
I was just going to ask you, Jaden, what have you learned from Joelle? Joelle, what have you learned from your sister as far as your interpersonal relationship on and off the field?
Joelle, I love her love for the Lord, and something that's been really inspiring for me, especially on my journey with God. I know my freshman year I came in and I just asked her a bunch of questions, and she answered it with so much grace, and she was always there for me and supportive of me, which is something that I love about Jo. And she's just so kind to literally everybody, and there's never a mean bone in her body. Like, she's so nice.
You're so sweet.
Joelle, your sister, what do you love about her?
Jay is just so patient, and I think she listens so well. And I can go to her for anything, and she just listens, and she always has the right thing to say, and she's so gentle and so kind. And to see how much you've grown in your relationship with the Lord has made me so ecstatic. It's made me so proud, and I envy that. And also on the field, you're just so level-headed, and you go out there, no matter if you struck out or you got the best hit of your life, you are at the same level. And I've been trying to do that as well. And I've been like looking to you for that, and just the way you played the outfield, just all of it, just your game in general. I'm just so proud of you, and I look up to that. And just, again, how much joy you have on the field. I really do want to have that as well. So
Stop. So sweet.
Jay, you got to say that is good stuff
That's
again,
great.
right?
She's
It's-
good with words.
Joelle Dowdy is stealing the show tonight.
Yes, she is.
But Jay, when you're hitting 455, you're kind of standing almost 6 foot tall, right? That's got to be a really good feeling.
She's a monster on the
It
field.
says 5'2". I wouldn't buy that at all.
I wish I was 6 foot.
But you're definitely playing above that.
Kev, she's playing like she's 6'2", 7'2".
Yeah, she's playing big,
Thank
no
you.
question about it. Ladies, good luck the rest of the way, and we look forward to, we always mention this, but we look forward to having you back again and telling us the rest of the story on how things went for you. So congratulations thus far, and go out there and get you some wins here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you, ladies.
guys.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a great show here tonight. We want to thank all of our guests, including tennis coach Phil Carlisle, of course, the very interesting Brad Herring. We always appreciate Coach Herring. He's always so much fun. And then these ladies here were actually fantastic, Jada Miles and Joelle Dowdy, who stole the program. So a special thank you to Tim Gilson and the guy that gets it done behind the scenes, Payne Mothens. For Ed Cole, I'm Kevin Derryberry. Until next time, so long for now.